Imagine a civilization that did not bury their dead deep underground, but instead carved eternal homes for them high in sheer cliffs, suspended between the earth and the sky. A people so fiercely independent that even under the mighty Roman Empire, they retained the privilege of self-rule. They were the seafarers of the Mediterranean, the followers of light, and the architects of a unique democracy that inspired the modern world. The journey to Anatolia's most enigmatic coast, Lycia, begins now. A grand new exploration series starts here on the Mythic Anatolia channel. The route is the south of Anatolia, the rugged geography known throughout history as the Teke Peninsula. The goal is to uncover the thousands-year-old secrets of the Lycian civilization. This series is not just a chronological historical narrative, but an adventure following the traces of the ancient world. This first episode serves as a grand introduction, addressing the identity, origins, and geography of Lycia. In the following episodes, the legendary Lycian Way will be virtually walked. Ancient cities like Patara, Myra, Xanthos, and Olympos will be examined one by one, delving deep into each unique story. The gates to the land of light are opening. To understand the Lycians, one must first understand their fortress. Lycia was defined by its isolation. Bound by the rugged, towering peaks of the Taurus Mountains to the north and the deep turquoise waters of the Mediterranean to the south, this land was a natural sanctuary. This geography dictated the Lycian character, secluded, resilient, and fiercely protective of their borders. The Teke Peninsula, where Lycia flourished, is a land of dramatic contrasts. High cedar forests overlook hidden bays, and fertile valleys are guarded by limestone cliffs. Because land travel was so difficult, the Lycians became masters of the sea. Their ports were the gateways to the world, yet their mountain passes remained impenetrable to many who sought to conquer them. It was this geographical isolation that allowed them to develop a culture unlike any other in the Mediterranean. A culture that was neither fully Eastern nor fully Western, but uniquely Anatolian. The name Lycia itself harbors a poetic mystery. It is often translated as the land of light, derived from the root word like, and associated with their chief deity, Apollo. In Greek mythology, Apollo was often called Lycian Apollo, suggesting his origins lay deep within these Anatolian forests. But the myth begins with his mother, Leto. Fleeing the wrath of a jealous Hera, Leto sought refuge in the wilds of Lycia to give birth to her divine twins, Apollo and Artemis. It is said that at the Letoon, the sacred heart of the Lycian League, she was denied water by local peasants. In her anger, she turned them into frogs, forever haunting the sacred springs. This connection to the divine twins made Lycia a holy land. Every mountain, every spring, and every grove was imbued with a sense of the sacred. Although modern linguistics traces the name's origin to their neighbors, the Lycians, the legend of the land of light persists. When one sees the sun hitting these turquoise shores and white cliffs, it is better understood why the ancient world believed this was the birthplace of light itself. Long before the concepts of modern federalism were written, the Lycians were practicing them. The greatest legacy Lycia left to world history was their passionate devotion to freedom and their revolutionary political system, the Lycian League. Established as early as the 2nd century BC, and possibly much earlier in an informal state, the Lycian League was history's first known democratic federation. It was a sophisticated union of 23 city-states, ranging from grand capitals like Xanthos and Patara to smaller mountain settlements. What made it visionary was its proportional representation. The largest cities held 3 votes, middle-sized cities 2, and the smallest one. They met annually at the Bouleuterium in Patara, a parliament building that still stands today as a testament to their wisdom. Here they elected a lyciarch, discussed taxes, foreign policy, and legal disputes. This system was so stable and effective that it survived centuries of Persian, Greek, and Roman influence. Centuries later, across the Atlantic Ocean, the founding fathers of the United States, James Madison and Alexander Hamilton, studied the Lycian model. They cited it in the Federalist Papers as an example of a perfect Confederate republic. An ancient Anatolian idea, born in the Parliament of Patara, became a cornerstone of modern democracy. The most powerful visual element defining the Lycian civilization is their approach to death. They did not isolate death from life. They glorified it with monumental architecture. These iconic rock-cut tombs, carved directly into the living cliff face, are unlike anything else in the world. Look closely at the details. These stone carvings perfectly mimic the facades of Lycian wooden houses, right down to the timber beams and door frames. It is as if they were preserving their earthly homes for eternity in the rock. The reason for building these tombs at such dizzying heights was rooted in a profound belief system. The Lycians believed that after death, the soul would be carried to the afterlife by winged, siren-like creatures. By placing their tombs on the summits of sheer cliffs, they aimed to facilitate their loved ones' final journey to the sky. In addition to the rock tombs, the landscape is dotted with massive stone sarcophagi, often standing alone in the middle of modern streets or submerged in the rising tides of the sea. To the Lycians, the dead remained part of the community, guarding the living from their elevated limestone thrones. The Lycians left behind no great historians or epic poets of their own. Their story reaches us through the narratives of their neighbors, the Greeks and Persians, and most importantly, through the silent yet majestic stones they left behind. But these stones speak a language that is still a puzzle. The Lycian language, an Indo-European tongue related to Luwian, was written in its own unique alphabet. While we can read the letters, the full meaning of many inscriptions remains locked away. The most famous key to this puzzle is the Xanthos Stele, a trilingual monument inscribed in Lycian, Greek, and Milia. It tells of the heroic deeds of their leaders, yet much of it remains untranslated. Each stone we uncover is a whisper from a civilization that refused to be forgotten, yet insisted on keeping its deepest secrets. This episode was just a beginning, a glimpse into the land of light. The real magic of Lycia lies hidden in its individual cities and the human stories those ruins harbor. Over the coming weeks, we will travel deep into the heart of this ancient world. In the next episode of the series, the route turns to the ancient paths of the Lycian Way. Our first stop, the capital city of Xanthos, a city that twice in history chose collective suicide over surrender, a city that preferred death to slavery. You do not want to miss the story of the bravest people of Anatolia. Subscribe to Mythic Anatolia to continue discovering this deep history. Ring the bell so you are the first to know when we step into the ruins of Xanthos. Thank you for watching. The journey continues.